First, I want to give all praise and thanksgiving to the dear Lord who brings us here today in friendship and in fellowship, who has helped save us through a big storm and whose guiding hand will help us be ready for the next one and maybe come out with a silver lining. I'm also pleased to be here. I know Senator Cardin was here on Friday, but we are Team Maryland. And I want you to know that as this storm was coming, we functioned like Team Maryland. Senator Cardin and I were in very close touch with Governor O'Malley. Governor O'Malley, when you have to apply for any federal help, has to go through us to the President of the United States. We were ready to go. And at the same time, when the storm did hit, we knew that we had to be ready, we had to be able to rescue, and then we had to be able to recover. We were ready for Maryland in terms of all of our things were pre-positioned and we could respond. The rescue teams were phenomenal, and the way they went in with swift boats and the National Guard, and also neighbor helping neighbor, getting vulnerable populations, particularly the children, to safety and making sure that nobody who was old and sick was going to be left behind. But then came the hard part, which is what were we eligible for? We knew New Jersey had been hit. We knew New York had been hit. But we knew Maryland had been hit. We'd been hit by a hurricane in the Eastern Shore and a blizzard in Western Maryland. And we went to work. Things began to proceed, and we were so pleased that President Obama responded immediately and approved something called public assistance. That's aid to governments to help them rebuild, whether it's a police station, a fire station, all of those things. But then we heard that the Eastern Shore was being denied individual assistance, and the county that had been the hardest hit by almost an American tsunami in Crisfield was going to be denied individual assistance. I couldn't believe it. And as I talked with Mayor Purnell, Commissioner Simpkins, Senator Jim Mathias, what we heard was the stories. What was happening to you? What was happening to families? What was happening to old people? What was happening to businesses? We said we cannot, under any circumstances, let Crisfield left behind. And that FEMA assistance isn't only for big communities and big cities, be they New Orleans or New York. It had to be also for little communities and rural communities. So listening to you and listening to your stories, working with the governor, we went to work. My colleague, Senator Landrieu, who chairs the FEMA committee, held a hearing. Cardin and I were right there. And that's when I said, it's a very sad day, and held up the pictures of what you all were facing there. Senator Cardin spoke up, and I stood up. And we both were right there to ask the head of FEMA to reevaluate, to revisit, to come back and take a re-look to see where we are. We know that there are rules and we know that there are regs. But rules and regs can be bended. They're written by man. These are not the 10 commandments. They're FEMA rules. Maybe we can't change God's commandments, but I saw FEMA rules as only suggestions. And we asked them to take another look. Well, I was so pleased that on December 14th, FEMA announced on December 14th that Somerset County was eligible for individual assistance. The good news now, and why I wanted to be here today, is to take a look at where we are. What we have in place is individual assistance, public assistance for the ability to rebuild, and also other needs. What we know is that yesterday, the House of Representatives passed the emergency bill. I can tell you, as the chair of the Appropriations Committee, it now comes back to me in the Senate, and I will tell you that by next Thursday or Friday, we will have this passed in the United States Senate. The money will go to the president. He's going to sign that bill. It's going to go in the federal checkbook, and when it's in the federal checkbook, it's going to come back here to Somerset County to put people back to work, getting their lives back, getting their livelihoods back, and that's only the beginning. We're going to work with the governor to see what other help we can do to make sure that recovery is not a short term, but a long term. We want Crisfield people, Somerset County, and the shore to get your lives back, get your homes back, and get your livelihoods back. This is what we mean by when we say Team Maryland. We will be able to work not only with the FEMA assistance, which will help individuals now, but with community development block grants. I'm going to support the recovery team and the citizen effort led by John Phoebus and what he was able to do to organize people. We want to thank the faith-based community and what they were able to do. And if we all think that, first of all, we are Americans. When we take that Pledge of Allegiance, you know, we are the United States of America, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for us all. We all have to be in it together. And each one of us has to be best at what we're best at and be best at what we're needed for. Senator Cardin and I, our job is to make sure the federal government is on your side and at your side helping you. We've put that process underway. And I'd like to thank them. Once we could take the local FEMA people and let them do their job, I think we can all say they've been doing a very good job. And now what we want to do is continue to help with the individual assistance, meet those special needs, and get our long-term recovery going. And I will tell you, by next Thursday, we will have finished getting the money, but we have not finished in getting the job done. And I pledge you, you know, I'm going to stay on this, and I'm going to stay with you. I will never forget you. I know that this community was hit twice, one by the economy and the other by the storm. We're going to weather that, and we're going to make sure that we have jobs today and jobs tomorrow. And if we all work together, we can get the job done. I look forward working with our president to bring our troops back home. And in bringing our troops back home, I want to bring our money back home. We've done a very good job trying to rebuild Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm going to rebuild America. I'm going to rebuild Crisfield. I'm going to rebuild the Eastern Shore. I'm going to keep the jobs going that we started. We brought broadband to the Eastern Shore. We want to expand broadband so that we have new opportunities for business. We need better transportation. We've got that job that we need to do on Route 113 that's been single lane, double lane, and so on. We could put our people to work, and at the end of the day, we can have a stronger country, a stronger economy, and we can all be stronger. But ultimately, the real strength of America lies in not what the government can do, but what the people do. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. The way I saw neighbor helping neighbor. You practiced something called the habits of the heart, where no matter what, you made sure that nobody was left out, whether the federal government was going to help or not. So I salute you and know we'll keep on fighting for you. Thank you very much.